So today with us on Stool Talk, we're honored to have a special guest. Here on Stool Talk, we walk in our purpose on purpose, and today's guest has definitely did that. As a young kid, we grew up, we heard his name, we heard about his legacy, we learned that he put in the hard work. It wasn't just the skills, it wasn't just the knowledge of the game, but he actually was one of the top players in the nation. This player is went to college, played D1 at a high level, impacted his city, gave back, always was humble, always was personable. You could go to him, you could talk to him. He always shared knowledge with the younger players. And now he's coaching, impacting the players on another level, making young men be ready for the real world and along with basketball and academics. Today we have with us the one, the only Lionel Armstead. How you doing today?
I'm great, man. I appreciate you having me.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. Did you know growing up, as you were coming up through the basketball scene that you were making an impact on kids in the inner city and just watching you and being able to see the hard work that you put in the game. Did you have a idea of that?
Actually, no, I mean, I really didn't, man. I just love basketball. Love putting the time in. Was always in the gym, just like I am now, even at 44. Like every single day, I'm in the gym. Like my wife is telling me I need to sit down for a second, but I mean, it's just what I've been doing, man. I've always just been a gym rat.
Yeah. Where did your love for the game start?
Man, I mean, honestly, I don't know. Like my dad passed when I was 8, but he would always have, people over playing in the backyard and I would watch them play. And then of course, just being a student and just studying Mike Jordan, man. I mean, once I seen Jordan play, that did it for me.
Yeah. When did you start to see your game excel and you knew that you was different and you were like among the top in the city, the area, the state, and even, throughout?
Um, Probably once I started playing AAU. I mean, it's crazy because me and my brother, my brother's 9 years older than me, and we was just talking about. He went to Wright State University, so I would always go down to Wright State and visit him. So I'm like 12 years old, and I would go play with the college kids. And he said he would bet money on me. I didn't know he was doing that. He just told me that the other day. I didn't know he was doing that. But I mean, like, so I never really thought about it until I went and played AAU. And even then I didn't understand the magnitude. I was just playing until I started getting letters and then start getting obviously offers. I mean, that's when I realized like I was doing something right.
Yeah, because we were in like the city league, so we knew about the different other leagues. But then here is you scoring points at a high level, name in the paper. Like you saying, the AAU circuit, your name is coming all over. So that made us draw special attention to you because some of the top athletes that we looked up to in the city league was looking up to you, and they're on the same page, trying to keep up and just trying to see where they stand when it came to you.
Right.
So you're in high school, you're making an impact in the school. They love you. Your teammates love you. You're doing good things, breaking records and stuff there. When did you start to draw all the interest from the different colleges, and how was it with you making your choice to go to West Virginia?
I would say I drew a little bit in between my sophomore and junior year. That was really my first time playing AAU. And then after my junior years, when I really kind of took off and started getting like Power Five and like huge offers. Um, and then I don't like I had a it was a assistant coach at West Virginia at the time that he was a born again Christian. And obviously, me, I was raised in a Christian home. My mom's still on fire for the Lord. He kind of stuck, that's kind of resonated with us. So I ended up going on a visit. I love the campus. It wasn't too far from home, but it was far enough to where my mom couldn't pop up on me. And that was, I needed that little bit of space, but not too much. And then, I knew that they had a lot of seniors. So I knew my chance to play and make an immediate impact was definitely possible. So that played a lot into, me making that decision, as well as, the Big East back then was just the Big East. And, everything about that it was guard heavy. A lot of the East Coast guards was, super nice. And I mean, on my visit, I went and saw them play Providence. And that's when they had God Sham God. And
Oh,
for
man.
me, yeah, that was huge. I mean, I'm sitting right there on the floor. Obviously, I'm a recruit,
Yeah.
and that sold me. That sold me.
Wow. Who was the coach there at that time at West Virginia?
Gail Catlett.
Okay.
So he was a couple coaches ago. He was the coach there before Beeline was.
Okay. So
Yep.
what would your advice be to seniors and even some juniors that's looking at schools and making their choices? A lot of times people want to go big schools, these powerhouse schools and all like that. What would you tell the youth that's, struggling with the decision to make, and even those who don't got nobody looking at them and their senior season is approaching and they worried about that and still got a whole senior season to go? What would you say to that?
I mean, for the ones that are already getting some recognition, and I think the mistake that I made is I didn't have anybody really coaching me through that process that had been through it. Is for one, just based off of basketball alone, make sure you make a decision, based off of how they run offenses. If it's a kind of style that you can see yourself playing in. Again, how many juniors or seniors do they have? Do they have big time freshmen coming in where you feel like you might have to sit behind these people, which is not, it's not a bad thing because you want to be pushed. But so many times, like you said, kids and even parents are just thinking about big time D1, big time D1. I want my kid to go Power Five. And, it's a lot of good D2 coaches and programs that they very well could fit and play in. And those guys are going to the league and they playing overseas as well. Um, and then for the ones who want to be recruited, and I tell my kids this at Clay, and I tell my AAU kids this: you have to make sure you are being marketable, and that goes way beyond just being on the court. You have to make sure that you're being marketable off the court. Watch your social media, watch how you carry yourself. Um, Make sure that you do something extremely well. I got a daughter that plays at Notre Dame. She can shoot the ball. I mean, you have to make sure that you perfect shooting the ball. Now, of course, there's some other things that you have to work on, but if you can do one thing extremely well and then always play defense, then you have a good chance of catching somebody's eye.
Yeah, did she know? Do she hear the stories about how good you was and know about you, or you just coach her up?
Every now and then, if she runs across somebody like you that knows, they might share it with her. She hasn't heard it from me because I'm just not like that. But I think she sees it because she's seen me play, and then obviously I train her, so she can tell I know what I'm talking about a little bit.
Yeah. What was your West Virginia experience like? What was it like playing basketball down there, and how did the experience help you?
Man, the experience was really amazing because I feel like any college experience can be amazing. I mean, you're away from home, you're making your own decisions. That was great, but like I said before, the Big East was special. I mean, there were no nights off, so that made me grow up pretty fast. I was playing at Emmanuel, where our gym might hold a couple hundred. So then playing in Madison Square Garden in a
Yeah.
matter of a season, I mean, it was an eye opener for sure. Um, but I was a hard worker, and I ended up starting halfway through my freshman year, and then I started the rest of my career. But I think it made me definitely grow up on and off the court.
Yeah, I remember when we seen you on that magazine cover. That was dope. Like, oh, he all on the front of the magazine. Like it was just, something to see somebody from our city going putting on.
Right.
Because you were there a little bit after LaShawn had transferred from Syracuse, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you was the only one really holding it down for the Big East. While you were there, did you get an influence to coach, or when did you knew that you were going to coach? Was it later on in your coaching? I mean, in your career?
Man, so I had no plans on coaching, to be honest. And then so a real good friend of mine, he like family, is Teron Gillespie.
Shout
Um,
out to
for sure. So when I came home, I was still playing. Um, that's when I first started training kids, and that was probably maybe 2003, somewhere around there. Um, and I was just training. And he got me into coaching AAU a little bit, but I still wasn't sold on coaching. I was just doing it because I love being in the gym. I love working with kids. And he told me that I would never ever really commit or really want to coach until one, I was done playing, because it was frustrating for me because I was still playing and able to play, to watch other kids play and not be able to get on the floor and actually do it myself.
You
And
was
then
like Michael. You was like Michael Jordan then, just like Michael
I
Jordan.
mean, yeah, I mean, it drove me crazy. And then he told me the other thing that would help me to get into coaching is me having my own kid,
Yeah.
um, because then that's where the patience came in. So I mean, he was dead on. I mean, with both of them, and I think around the time or a little bit after my daughter was born, and then I finally got done playing when I was like maybe 33, 34. That's when I started coaching a little more.
And this is so crazy what I'm about to say and how all this work and just tell you how amazing God is because if you never coached, you don't know the impact of the lives you made. Now, I interviewed TJ Gillespie, you made so much of an impact on his life for coaching that man is able to pour into these young kids and be able to get them the game and knowledgeable. Now he's head of the whole program, and guess who he got in his mind? Man, LA, man, he taught me this. I learned this. I learned that. You between you and his dad, so you making an impact in that. Then your assistant coach, Dewan Mitchell, you
Yeah,
got him making an impact on him. And I'm talking about these are people that really genuine love the game and they love the kids. And that's,
sure.
I mean, and there's probably countless other coaches who you helped or that you was in your program with you that you did that and now they're, spreading. So you got a tree of, coaches and people that did it because you like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be a coach and you changing lives. Another thing that I love about you too is because of your faith. And I want you to explain what is faith to you and how much does it mean to you?
Oh, I mean, that's everything. Like I said, I grew up. My dad was a pastor before he passed. My mom, like I said, is still on fire for the Lord, and that's really all I knew growing up. So when I went to West Virginia, and you asked me this, how my experience was a couple questions ago. Um, it really took for me to really fall on my face to realize how important my faith was to me. Because you can't, once you get older, you have to make that decision. You got to make that choice. So we spoon fed as a kid. You going to church. You going to church. It's not an option. And then a lot of people will say because of that they chose not to follow Christ. But for me, it took a lot. I mean, I went through a lot, like most people do. But I realized, the only reason why I'm here now and doing what I'm doing and able to pour in other people's lives is because of that impact.
Yeah, and just keep that up because, like I said, and that was another thing with us being younger, knowing you were different and hearing people talk about the love you have for God and how you wasn't ashamed of the gospel. At the other schools, people, we went to church and all like that, but we wasn't really repping it strong and we wasn't all like that because we were young. But seeing you can be an athlete, you can love the Lord, and God can still be blessing you and all like that. So that impact is personable too. And I know your players see the difference between you and other coaches and stuff they can be around because they see the spirit and they see the fruit. And that's why when people, make comment of different things, man. All you got to do is look at it. You can tell by a person's fruit what they doing. They can talk and say, I did this, I got this player, but where is his heart and where is his fruit? And that's why, when you got those messages from me, it was because I know the God in you. And I know, the enemy may try to do, but no weapon formed against you shall have the ability to prosper. They didn't say that it wasn't going to form, but it's
Right.
not going to prosper because God already know the plans that he got for you, in touching lives and making an impact. And I kind of believe that he's putting you strategically where you need to be for you can reach those kids that really need what you got inside you.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and I really
Totally.
believe that.
For sure. For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. So transitioning to coaching, what do you want your program to be? What do you want to build and what are you creating now?
Um, so like you said, God placed me here. I had no I didn't know anything about clay before I took the job, and I had countless people telling me to take it, and I was like, I'm good. Like I don't know anything about clay. I don't know, like most people, like it's not a lot of us out there. Like and for me, that wasn't a huge thing because when I was a student at Emmanuel, it wasn't a lot of us there. I mean, now it is, but it never was before. So that wasn't a huge issue to me, but it was just extremely foreign. Um, but I love the fact that it was going to be a challenge and that they haven't been good in quite some time. I knew that they had a good freshman class that I could kind of build around, and I talked to my wife about it and decided to take it. And I want to obviously have a successful program. Um, but the main thing I was pouring into them was like we were going to be a tough-minded team. We were going to play defense. We were going to be scrappy. And, administration and a lot of them said, we don't really win in basketball. And I said, well, we're going to win. I said
Yeah.
that I'm not going to take this job and not win. So I just want, like you said, I want to raise tough young men that are respectful on and off the floor. And right now, that's kind of the direction we're going in.
Yeah, what have been some of the challenges you face at starting out there besides just the youth and all like that? Has it been anything else that you have, faced?
No, honestly, man, it's been wonderful. I mean, the support system out here is great. The community has been amazing. Administration, staff, they all welcome me. And, that's probably been the easiest part is the fact that, like, I haven't had too much resistance as far as, building it and doing the things that I want to do. I did a meet the coach night when I first got the job last May, and told them who I was and what I stood for and what I'm not gonna stand for, and they all respected it. I mean, the kids, the parents, everything. So it's been amazing.
Yeah, how do you plan to continue to build with the community and with the school and even with the alumni, people that went? What do you plan to do to keep and having them to be involved and build the program from the outside? You taking care of the basketball stuff, but just have the games, the community to support. Because once the players see the support, they feeling a little different. All the hard work is paying off. Now they seeing, that the atmosphere is different.
Yeah, I started off by, first just being seen, being visible. So I went to, every single home game, football game, last year, and they knew who I was, but they didn't really know me. So just being out there talking to people. And then I told them, like, I keep the gym packed. So I'm always going to have people from the outside coming in. So this is a great community, but other people need to see that, and other people need to know that they're welcome in our community. So I keep the gym full and busy, and kids in and out from other schools, because for one, I do personal training, and that's what I do on the side. But they just need to be able to see that Clay is a welcoming community.
Yeah, and I know like it's some stuff that's a positive, like you're not gonna have to worry about the family and worry about the stuff that you have to worry about in the inner city for that, but you have to continue to work on fundamentals, which you big at, work on training, the little stuff, making sure they get a knowledge of the game. With your player development, how do you continue to approach that, and how will you with the different players that you get in?
Oh, we always working, man. So I make sure I keep them busy, keep them in the gym. Right now it's August, it's a no contact period. And, I think that in year one, not just me, but my staff has done an amazing job of letting them know what we expect from them. So even though we can't work with them, I'll walk in the gym and it'll be guys, shooting on the shooting machine, getting shots up in the weight room. So I think that we've already let them know what the culture is going to be like. But outside of that, like I said, I have an amazing staff in Terrell West, Alex Geisel, DeJuan Mitchum. Now I got Sean Brooks. And we're just doing an amazing job, and they're doing an amazing job of supporting and making sure our guys are ready.
Yeah, what do you believe is the most important for their growth?
On the court,
Yeah, and off.
well, on the court, consistency, showing up. I mean, you can't just show up when it's time to practice and when it's time to play. You got to show up, all year round. And then off the court, obviously, I mean, it's consistency as well. And I know that all of them, like you said, they know what I'm about. I had one player come in so I'm in my office now. And if you come in my office, I got different signs, with God, all things are possible. And he came in one time and we were having a meeting. And he said, Coach, I'm surprised they didn't tell you to take this stuff down. And that's when I realized it was different. Like, so I'm coming from Emmanuel where, like, you almost better have that stuff in your
Yeah,
room.
yeah.
But now, and I didn't think nothing of it, to be honest, until he said that. And I said, man, that nobody said anything to me, and I'm not gonna take it down. And me and his relationship, because of that, got a
Yeah.
lot better, because he respected that. And I mean, they know what I'm about.
Yeah. What advice would you have for young coaches that's starting to get into the coaching field?
Um, stay. I mean, again, consistency is everything for me. So stay consistent, but be a student of the game. Like you not just watch games, but study trainers, study coaches, make sure you know different positions, make sure you study what kind of system you would want to run if you got a coaching job, because when I started off at Emmanuel, I didn't really know that stuff. I mean, like, we ran plays and we had different things that we wanted to do after a while, but it took, that experience for me to be better at this one. So just having a system in place and then just sticking with it. Like, it might not work right away. When we're in high school, we're not in college where we have the luxury of picking guys that we want to put in our system. We kind of got to make it work. So just make sure you pick a system that, whether you have an up year or a down year, that it could work for you.
Yeah, what are your plans about being and showing your face and continuing to have the feeder school to know what you guys doing for people can see and want to come up there and establishing a pipeline as far as the middle schools around in the area?
Yeah, so I mean, we already do camps and different clinics. This year it's gonna be the first time we'll do a coaches clinic where we're actually kind of teaching the coaches in the area kind of what we do and how we do things, so that they can do them in our feeder programs. But we always welcome all of our kids in the gym, and we're always working with them.
Yeah. How do you balance the demands of coaching, being a dad, supporting your daughter, still being there for your teammates, but still making sure Lionel is cool, making sure you stay strengthened because you pour out so much and you need your connection to where you are being able to get charged and be in a right state of mind. So how do you balance all that?
Um, Actually, I mean, honestly, I don't do a very good job of balancing myself, for sure. I definitely don't. But I try to, before, when I would train all day long, and I'm talking about 8 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night. But now I make sure that I'm not training too late at night, so I can always get home, eat dinner with the family, chill with the family, stuff like that. And then I never miss anything that has to do with my daughter. So until I got here, where I think I might have missed 4 or 5 games that we had games on the same days. But if she has anything going on, I'm always scheduling around whatever her or my wife has, planned for the family.
Yeah. What do you want your legacy to be known for there and even around in the area?
Um, Me is integrity. Like, everything is integrity. And that's one of our standards, since I got here. Because I just feel like integrity is going to be that. Integrity is who you are. So no matter who's watching you, you always going to keep that same good character. So it's another thing I tell my guys. We our standards, is pride. They already had ego pride, so I let them keep the pride.
Yeah.
And it's passion, resilience, integrity, discipline, and effort. And that's what we kind of hang our hat on.
Oh, I love it. How was the AAU season this year for you?
Crazy. I mean, it
Crazy.
was, it was crazy because so I coached a RBA team, a Rice basketball team.
Was you with Keenan?
So yeah, I helped Keenan because that was my daughter's team. So I
Okay.
helped him. I was coaching the 16U girls until that kind of fell apart. That's who Nina Stevens was playing
Okay.
for, because I seen her interview.
Yeah.
Um, so she was playing for that team. And then, I coach in the EYBL, a girls team, 17U. So I was kind of doing, had my hand on all 3 teams. So it was an extremely busy summer. My daughter is getting older, and we trying to figure out getting her on the right level. But that EYBL is an extremely high level. And that was amazing. That was amazing to be a part of.
How do you coach them to where they take what's the positive that they gain with you and still be able to use it with their team and allow them to, don't go back to their team with a messed up, how you started this way, go back to your team with the right mindset and be focused versus just not being on the same page and hey, you kind of messing them up because I'm saying that because a lot of the players I'm interviewing they like, hey, you better than my school ball, but that's because you playing with all kind of talented players and against all this and that. Now, when you go to school, it's gonna be kind of a drop off. So, how do you make sure that they stay focused and balanced on that?
I mean, just making sure they always play at a high level and think at a high level, and then just always stressing being a good teammate. So AAU is different, obviously, because you probably have the better players from the area all on one team.
Yeah.
But as long as you are being a good teammate and you moving the ball, you making that extra pass, and you playing defense, you always encouraging. I mean, that can go with you and fit into any program. So it is different, but when they go back to their team, they should be raising the level of intensity with that team.
Yeah. Is the Jump Start League, is that connected to y'all out there in Oregon?
So Alex Geisel, who was my JV coach last year, he owns and runs Jumpstart.
Okay.
So I mean, it's connected in that way. He brings me in under Lab Impact, which is my training company, and he'll have me do all the skill work, and then the league will they'll play games on Sundays. So yeah, I mean it is hand in hand, So we like I said, we keep our gym busy.
Yeah, and that's a great thing because I was talking to one of the coaches. I'm interviewing him, and like three of the girls Sunday, he gonna connect me with the guy you talking about. But to see them and seeing their development and seeing how that's just gonna make everything be able to work out because they gonna see the impact it is, and they out there, so they're gonna be comfortable, and that's where they want to be. And you just want to make Clay a name where somebody can be like, you know what, I want to go there. So if they looking to go there, what can you tell them that Clay has to offer academically and athletically?
Well, I mean, we have the career tech program, so we got rated a 5-star rating for that. Where we have auto, construction, culinary, what's the other one? The where girls getting the hair done,
Cosmetology.
cosmetology. Yeah, we have all of that where we got a 5-star rating, and then overall, we're a 4-star school. So I mean, they take it serious. They always have something going on. So as far as that, I mean, we got a lot to offer, and you can get licensed, here for those things.
Yeah. Do you guys got open enrollment?
We do have open enrollment. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. Just for the people that may see this or even that ask and want to know about a good school, a good program to go to, because a lot of kids is asking and want to, they might move in the district or even hey this, so that's good to know.
Right.
But yeah. So what's your goals next year as far as the team?
I mean, the first goal is to we gotta win our league. So we lost to Dennis at Southview last year. That's my guy, man. But both times we
Yeah,
battled. I mean,
yeah.
both times we battled, and I knew we would. He's a great coach. That's my guy, and he has some great players. So I don't think a lot of people saw that coming, from us. So I think we kind of dropped that one. So
Was y'all in the black jerseys when y'all played them?
yeah,
Yeah,
at
I love them. I love them black things out there.
yeah, the black you gotta keep a set of black jersey, man. That's business. That's that business mindset. But yeah, so I mean that's a goal, and then get deeper in the tournament. We lost to Perrysburg this year, but we got some experience coming back, and that 1 year is under the belt. So we gunning for people.
Did y'all lose any players, seniors, upperclassmen?
We did. We had Amir Walker, who he came from St. Francis. He only got to play half a season, but even in that half a season, he got first team in the league. Jay Williams, who he's been here his whole career. He didn't play a whole lot of varsity, his junior year. So I got here and I saw him playing, and I didn't really understand why. You know, but he's a super athlete. I mean, super athlete. And I told him from the time I saw him play, I said, "You're gonna be first team." So I called him first team. And from the time that I met him all the way through the season, he ended up getting first team. And actually, he ran track this year and broke records and came in sixth place in the 800.
Wow.
So now I think he'll be going to Youngstown State, on a scholarship to Youngstown State. So shout out to Scott Wamers, worked with him, and he's amazing with that track. And then we lost Lucas Jeremy, who was one of our shooters. Um, who else we lose? Logan Longinus was 6'4", good around the basket, rebound. Um, I think that's it. And then our heart and soul, Mason Heinz, our quarterback, he
Yeah.
signed I think he's going to be leaving early in January. He kind of, I thought he was joking with me when he said he was playing, but I told him, you are not playing. It's over. You're not playing for me. You're going to focus on Pitt and getting ready for, to make your name on that stage. So,
Yeah, and that just showed great character. The fact that you know the bigger picture and you ain't trying to be selfish because you know some other coaches like, yeah, we getting all them uses out of
right.
you until you leave in January. Let me know the day before. I'll let you
Right.
know the games you schedule. So that's crazy, man. But we thank you, man. We're honoring you. We spotlighting you for your coaching ability, your being, there and having an impact on the kids because more coaches need to be like you, and I know you humble. I know you don't really talk about different stuff. Your actions speak way louder, your fruits speak way louder, but I see it from afar and even the impact you're making on kids and the kids that tell me and even other coaches that you touch lives. So continue to do that. May God continue to bless you. May he give you favor in that program, in that area with the kids. May he order your steps. May you be focused. May you listen to what he's trying to tell you. May he give you the insight to be able to hear what you need to hear to make those decisions. And may you just know that if God is for you, who could be against you? And continue to be great.
No, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me, man. This was fun.
Yep, no problem. We're gonna be checking in too before the season start too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, Lionel Armstead.
Thank you, man.
Yep.
Yeah.